Hey, thanks for tuning in today. We went through our second part in our series of Modern Malachi to learn how we as people 2,400 years later have the directive and the blessing to be a messenger of the Lord. Today we looked at verses 12 through 14 in chapter 1, and we identified that as a promise. And it begins with the Lord saying, whatever you're doing priesthood there in 430 BC, and they, as we learned last week, were not really following the guidelines for what the priesthood should do. The Lord said, whether you're going to do that or not, I want you to come back. I want to have a relationship with you. But if you don't, my name will be feared. My name will be honored. My name will be held up in awe throughout the nations. And we identified that for us, the takeaway is that God desires to have our worship. And we looked at John chapter 4, that God's love is pure. And He desires for us to love Him and to worship Him in spirit and in truth. In spirit, in that we love Him with every fiber of our being. And we looked at Deuteronomy chapter 6. We call this the Shema. The Lord thy God is one God. Thou shalt love Him with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength. And even back in Jewish history, even up to Mark chapter 12 and Matthew chapter 22, Jesus quoted the Shema, that we're to love Him with everything that we have. And that we learned that's what loving Him in spirit is. And then we talked about loving Him in truth, as Jesus communicated that to the lady at the well, the woman at the well. And loving Him in truth is loving Him according to the prescribed authority and absolutes of Scripture. We can't add, we can't take away. We're to love the Lord in truth, what His Word says. And we spent some time looking at some of the areas in our culture where churches have varied to the left and to the right and have not stayed on the straight and narrow. And we learned that at Rock Harbor, we're going to continue to do our best to love Him with everything that we have in spirit and in truth. We wrapped up chapter 1 in a Modern Malachi with the takeaway that God deserves our very best and nothing less. So thanks for tuning in. We'll get to Malachi chapter 2 in the next couple of weeks and look forward to that. Have a great day.